Okay guys, this is just mostly a video to catch up on some of the releases that I've been buying, and today we're going to be doing Samurai Calibur. We've already looked over the parts, but I'll look over it again. We have the blade itself, Samurai Calibur. I think it's around 35-36 grams, so that's very nice, especially with this shape. Not too outlandish, so we won't see too much recoil with this blade. Should be really good. Then we have 670. I think this is a new part because we got 660 with Drawn Brave and then 680 with Perseus Dark. It's first 670. And then we have Merge, also a new bit. It's called Merge, but it kind of looks more like Bursts Unite or Metal Fights CS, but you can see it does have little notches, so it might act a little bit different than those. But they're not all the way down, so it might just act like a CS. Anyway, let's just go ahead and unbox this thing. Okay, there we go. Got the tape off now. And let's just tear into it. Got the code there. Probably gonna use it before you guys do, but I'm slacking, then I guess you guys will get it first. And yeah, I like this new method of packaging where it's just like a cut instead of tape. And here's the bag. A little instruction manual, don't need that. And the bay is in here. Go ahead and tear it out. But yeah, right off the bat, this blade is a bit bigger than I thought it would be. Feels a bit lighter than the average BX Beyblade. Very nice though. Rubber bit with a lot of teeth. I don't know if this is like even more than Hexa. I'll have to count, but that looks like a lot of teeth. Anyway, starting off with the blade. Here is Samurai Calibur, and I like the motif for the bit, or for the chip. Yeah, I didn't notice how cool it looks. That side view is pretty nice. Green, purple, blue, and let's go ahead and compare it with Samurai Saber. One thing we notice, it has a lot less of this green, more of a limey green, and then some blue instead. I think I like this color scheme a bit more, but this isn't a bad color scheme. Then, once again, we have a 70 height ratchet for this bay. Just like Samurai Saber, it came with the first 270. This comes with the first 670, so keeping it with the mid-height ratchet. Here we go. Goes well with the chip color. And then on top of that, we have the bit that's a purple that goes with blade. And then the blue goes with the chip and ratchet, so color scheme all good. And as you guys probably noticed, this thing is gargantuanly tall, like insanely tall. If we were to compare it with one of the shortest bays released, Shark Scale, we'll see that it's like, oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to do a battle between these two because these two were released in the same wave. So they're pretty comparable in terms of weight. And then on top of that, they're just so different that I think it's gonna be crazy. Anyway, let's go ahead and do some weight tests for this bay. And yeah, maybe some battle tests. Okay guys, and here we have the scale. You guys can see the number. We'll go ahead and do the whole Beyblade first. Okay, so about 45.7. And the blade itself. Nice, 35.87. So almost 36 grams, which is great for a shape like this. Wouldn't be surprised if it's good for defense or stamina. The shape is just really good. I am noticing that it looks kind of off balance, so maybe not, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see. We'll go ahead and compare that to Samurai Saber before we move on to testing, but I think around the same, yeah. Just slightly lighter, 36.38 and 35.829, so yeah. Practically just a half a gram apart. Very cool for a BX, and I just think this shape is going to be way better than the one with all the moving wings and stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if this was a good choice for competitive combos. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see how that turns out. Okay guys, so here we have the stadium, and I'll go ahead and test launch Samurai Calibur first. Okay, so it seems like it can be pretty defensive. Just a little bit of needle movement, not a whole lot of rubber contact yet. But anyway, let's try a slant launch this time. Okay, and it had that initial burst, but yeah, not much movement after that. Settles to the center again, so I'm thinking this is going to be more of a counter defense bit, but I'll try one more time launching it as hard as I can. Yeah, even after that, just some initial movement and then settles to the center. Very interesting. Anyway, for test battles, we're going to be battling it against a fairly decent yet non-main series defense blade, so yeah, Tricera. And then we have its predecessor, or I guess successor, Samurai Saber. And then finally we're going to be trying to battle this monstrously low Beyblade against this monstrously high Beyblade and see how these things work. So yeah, first Tricera press. Okay guys, and honestly, it's not that great. I think the blade seems to have potential. It is kind of off balance, so I don't know about that too much. This bit, however, I think it When it's fresh, like it is right now, I feel like it doesn't have a lot of potential, because as you guys probably noticed, even though it had pretty good beginning defense and beginning like counterattacks, when it's going down to the center, losing spin, you'll see it wobbling, and that's where it really fails, because once it gets hit when it's at low stamina, or once it starts to wobble, these little notches on the sides take extra recoil off the stadium, and usually that would be helpful for making it go around, but when it's at low spin, it doesn't really have enough energy to start going around with that little kick, so instead it just ruins its stamina. I think maybe after it wears down and it's more dome shaped, it would be way better at defense, but for now I think it's probably not going to be that great. I think the height could be really good, and maybe we could see 230 CS come back again, but with how it is right now, with it being fresh and with what I've seen, I don't think so. Maybe, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you want to see any test battles with this guy, and yeah, see you guys later. Bye.